Hi, my name is Stacy Force, and I'm one of the counselors at Harwood Junior High. And I'm here today to talk to you about how to help keep your students on track with their schoolwork without conflict. I know you all have been doing a really great job working with your students from home the last 8 weeks, and I know that definitely have been easy on any of you. And so we just wanted to provide some tips that hopefully will be helpful to get you through the rest of this school year successfully, and even, maybe in the future with setting up how to be successful with homework and things like that once next school year starts. So one of the first things I'm going to talk about is family meetings. So a lot of times whenever there are any situations or things that come up like this, it's good to have a check-in with your family to kind of go ahead and set what is going to be our new normal, what are going to be the routines, the schedules, the things that we need to do to be successful. And I think that's especially important during a time like this where there's a lot of uncertainty and things that we can't control. Having a family meeting and having everyone on the same page with expectations and things like that, I think can really give everyone a sense of control that can be really helpful to make it through these times. So during those family meetings, whether you schedule them however you think necessary, whether that's once a week, once a month, anytime something comes up, whatever that looks like is best for your family. But one of the things that can help you and your student be able to do well without having to resort to conflict or yelling or nagging or things like that is really to the extent that it's possible to let your student have input. And what that input looks like is going to be up to you, but it might be having them choose their schedule, what order they're going to work on things or what time of day they're going to work on things. Are they going to do a little bit from each class every day? Are they going to do one class at a time? Is every Monday going to be math? Every Tuesday going to be science? What is that going to look like? Something that both you and your student can agree upon. Really having a routine is going to be really helpful so that everyone knows what the expectation is, what times things need to be done, things like that. And one of the things that can be helpful also, I know sometimes it can be overwhelming when your student has several different classes and teachers with different assignments and due dates and things like that. So sometimes it can be very helpful to really just focus on one subject at a time, whether that's, again, one subject on each day, or maybe you're going to complete all the math first, and then the English, and then the science, and then the social studies, and really leaving that order up to the student whenever possible. A lot of times students want to start with what's hardest and get that out of the way, but sometimes they want to start with what's easiest and work their way up to what's hardest. So as long as it's working, to really let that student have the choice in how they're going to complete the assignments. Another thing that can be really helpful, a lot of your teachers are using other digital tools that require a username and a password or links to things like that. Being able to bookmark those or have them in a place where you can have all of those links saved, all the usernames, all the password, things like that. So you're not having to constantly reset the password or try to relog in, because I know that can be very frustrating. So that's another small tip to help. Another one is setting timers. So if you have a student who's maybe reluctant to work on things or something like that, giving a specific amount of time that they're going to sit down and try to work on those things can be really helpful, with making it just feel a little bit easier and a little bit less overwhelming. And in addition to that, giving breaks. If a student has worked for a set amount of time, make sure you build in those breaks where they can go outside and take a walk or watch TV or play a game or listen to music or whatever they need to do to give them those breaks that they would have during a typical school day in order to feel like they can continue to focus. And then one of the other things that you can do as a parent is to listen to your student, to listen to their problems. This is a new world. I know for you, it's a new world for them. It's a new world for all of us. And to realize that everyone is just trying to do their best, and to listen to their problems and to have empathy, and then to help them join in with you as far as problem solving. A lot of times as a parent, it's helpful to listen, and then also to be able to talk about, how do we think we can fix this? And that could be whether they're just having a bad day, but it could also be if they're having a problem, with schoolwork. Maybe brother or sister is trying to use the computer at the same time, and one person has a Zoom meeting and one person has an assignment due. What does that look like? How do we work through those conflicts? And that kind of ties back to those family meetings in order to figure out how are we going to deal with those problems that come up. And really, it's helpful if the student can join in on those things and to, again, have some ownership wherever possible to be able to problem solve those things for the good of not just them, but for the entire family. And then the last thing I really want to stress is that your students' teachers, counselors, administrators, we are all here to help however we can. Please do not feel like you cannot reach out to us. We absolutely want you to email us during this time if there are things that we need to do, or video chat you or your student, or whatever we can do to be more helpful and them being able to be successful in doing their schoolwork, and for you to feel like they're doing what they need to do. We are here to help with that in any way possible. So again, we just wanted to offer those tips to help you hopefully avoid some conflict at home with your students while you're doing their schoolwork from home, and for many of you trying to work from home as well. Stay safe.